Welcome back. In this video, we'll be getting started with Power Query Editor. I'll show you how we can do some basic transformations on top of a table. Let's first get the data. I'm choosing Excel sheet again, the sample superstore data. I'm trying to load that into Power BI. You'll again get a dialog box where it will show you the sheets inside the Excel file. I'll be choosing this orders sheet, and as I want to do some data cleansing operations on top of this sheet, I'll choose transform data. That will navigate me to Power Query Editor. As you know, Power Query Editor is a dedicated ETL component inside Power BI. Okay, so once I got navigated to Power Query Editor, I'll get these orders as a table. Okay, on the top again you have various options: new source, recent source, enter data, data source settings, and many more. Okay, so I just selected the Excel sheet in Power BI desktop itself and navigated to Power Query Editor. But what you can do is you can also choose the source from here itself in Power Query Editor. Okay, the same way, it doesn't make any difference. So I have loaded the data, and on the right side of this Power Query Editor, I can see something called applied steps. Okay, as you can see here, there are some steps: source, navigation, promoted headers, and then change it type. So you don't know what they are exactly. Don't worry, I'll explain everything. Just coming to this data, as you can see here, for each column, you are seeing something called 1, 2, 3, ABC, and then some sort of calendar, right? So for every column, the thing which is on the left side, which is called as data type. For row ID, it is a numerical data type. You can just right click on it and left click on it. If you right click on it, you will see some options to do some data transformations. But if you left click on it, you will see the data types you can choose. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3 is whole number. Okay, date, time, duration, text, true or false, binary. We have various data types available here. Okay, so what Power Query Editor does is it auto detects the data type for each column. Okay, how it does, I'll explain. So that's how you can see data type for each column on the left side on each column header. So this is what the data I have. Now coming to these steps, I can just click on each step and see what's happening there. Okay, if I click on source, I'm seeing something relevant to the sheets inside the Excel file. You remember we have orders, orders 1, something called table 2. Okay, and in the next step, what it does is we have chosen orders table, right? So for orders, we have the table, relevant table, and for orders 1 as well, we have a relevant table. So what it did was it just navigated to the orders table. Okay, and if you can see here in the first row, all these are actually the column headers in Excel file, but they are generated as a row. Okay, so how we can convert them as a row, from row to a column header? Okay, you don't worry, Power Query Editor does it by default. If it doesn't do it by default, how we can do it, I'll tell you. But what it does in the next step is it just promoted headers. Whatever is there in first row was made as column header. Okay, that's the third step. So if you observe, whatever transformation Power Query Editor performed by default was recorded as a step on the right hand side. First it shows it connected to the Excel sheet, and then it navigated to the orders table, and then it converted the first row as column headers, and then if you see for every column the data type is ABC123, ABC123, ABC123. In the next step, what it does is it just detected the data type and converted into the actual data type. For row ID, it's numerical, and for order ID, it's ABC. Order date, it's a calendar. Okay. So these are the four primary steps Power Query Editor does by default. Now, for your understanding, what I'll be doing is I'll just duplicate this table, and I'm just removing the last two steps, which were promoted headers and then the change it type. Okay. Now I just have the source and navigation steps. So what I'll be doing now is I just want to convert this first row into column headers. So which option in Power Query Editor help me do that? Okay. We are in the home ribbon. So just move right to it. You can see something called use use first row as headers, right? So under that you have a drop down, use first row as headers, use headers as first row. Now what we want is we need to convert the first row as headers. Just click on that option. See, it has converted the first row as headers. And if you see, I only converted the first row as headers, but additionally, what Power Query does is it also detected the data type for each column, right? 1, 2, 3, ABC, order date. If it doesn't do it, how can we do it? For every column, it would be ABC123, ABC123. So what we can do is you can just go to the transform data. Okay. So this is the transform uh, ribbon. I'll just go there. And here I have something called detect data type. So detect data type is an option used to detect the data type for a column. Okay. So now what I'll be doing is for row ID, remember it works only for a selected column, not for all the columns. Okay. I just selected row ID column and I'm just detecting the data type. Again, similarly for order ID, order date, detect data type, click on ship date, detect data type, ship mode, detect data type. Observe here, even though I am changing or detecting data type for each column separately, I can only see one step for changing the data type here, right? There are no multiple steps for each column, right? Whatever transformation I do for all the columns or only for single column, it would be recorded as a step. That's what is happening here. Okay. So I have changed it till ship mode. Now customer ID, customer name, segment, country or region. So I can do it for n number of columns, and you no need to do that for each column dedicatedly because Power Query editor is doing it for you, right? So I just loaded this orders table into Power Query editor, and these are the four steps it does for me, and changing the data type is one of them. Okay, so Power Query editor is saving some of your time, to detect the data types and changing it for each and every column, because you just have a few columns here, 21 columns. But imagine if you have some 200 or 300 columns, right? So that becomes difficult. Okay, so these are the four steps Power Query Editor does by default, and you also know how to do them using the options available in Power Query Editor. Okay, the one transformation we have got to know now is use first row as headers, and the next transformation is in the transform tab we have detect data type. Okay, so now you can do two transformations in Power Query Editor within no time. Okay, so we'll be doing using each and every option in the ribbon panes going forward in our upcoming videos. Okay, that's all for this video.